Hey friends, good morning. Welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad you're here. Today's video is a garden inspiration video. I'm just going to my local greenhouse here and checking out what they all have new and purchase some items here that I will show you a little bit later on in the video. But I thought it would be just fun to take you along and just browse around. The Lindenberg seeds that I'm just showing you here now is what I normally almost always buy. They are the cheapest and I have always had very good luck with them. Versus I've bought some expensive ones in years past and did not have any luck with them. Hardly had any sprouts coming up from them. So I am just going back all the time to my Lindenberg seeds, as I've always had lots of success with them. But I thought it would just be fun to go grab a coffee. They have a coffee shop in here now and just go browse around, and I thought it would be fun to take you along. I am back at home now, just sharing a little bit of my front garden here. I have a few blooms, and I did end up cutting a lot of the shrubs back and raking the front here as well. When I say I, it's my husband and I that did that. I want to make a few changes by my rock garden here. I need to remove a few of the big bushes there because they are just taking up too much space and I can't really see the rock garden from the road. So I do need to do some work in here. But I have a lot of perennials here and it looks very empty. But once they will start to grow and fill up, it will look really nice and full. And yes, I need to make a few changes here by the rock garden and plant a few more plants in there. And then here in the backyard, we did end up moving our garden box to over here further towards the front of the garden, and we want to make another one right here beside it. They were just not getting enough sun in the back, and also one was starting to sink for some reason. So as you can see here, we had an L shape here before, and so we moved that one a little bit further into the yard so that it will have more sun. This is what it looked like before. It was an L shape and they were not getting enough sunshine here, so it's kind of empty in the corner now. Not quite sure what we will do with that space yet, but I'm really loving how everything is now, and I can't wait to get the extra garden box in, as well as we need to haul in a bunch of dirt again. And I don't know if you remember on the last video, this was still all full of ice here, and that is all gone now. And the grass is starting to turn green. I'm so excited for garden season. Here are the few items that I did purchase from our local greenhouse. Now, of course, once we start planting the garden, I will be going back and buying quite a bit more. But for now, this is what I purchased, and I will go ahead and show you the house plant first. Isn't she a beauty? This is called the Australian Hoya plant, I believe is how you would pronounce it. And it is really, really pretty. The leaves, they seem and look and feel plasticky, but of course it's not. It is a real plant. It is a vining plant that loves hanging by a window, she was telling me. And if I am correct, I think my mom-in-law used to have a plant like this. I think. If any of my sister-in-laws are watching, correct me if I'm wrong. But I think she used to have a plant like this. And I don't know what color this one will bloom, because there is a variety of different colors that this plant can bloom. And the blooms are very fragrant when it does start to bloom. And I will maybe insert a photo here of what the bloom could look like. I'm really hoping it will be white, but I did ask at the greenhouse and they didn't know what color it will be. They had no idea. I did scan the barcode, but it didn't tell me none other than that it was an Australian Hoya plant. So I don't know what color it will bloom, but fingers crossed it will be white. But I do know it also can bloom light pink and I think purple. I'm not sure what other colors. I will love any of the colors really. But I'm very excited about this plant. I hadn't bought a house plant in a while, so, you know, gotta add to my collection over there. And so I'm very excited about this. They had gotten quite a few in, and I think they only had 3 of these left from my understanding and from what I could see. So I am very excited about it. It's got some really long vines already, so I'm going to have to do some research on how to take care of it properly. And then I bought some of these pansies because I couldn't resist. They instantly remind me of my mom. I miss my mom incredibly, and the minute I saw these, I'm like, yep, I have to take a few home because mom's birthday is coming up in a couple of days, her heavenly birthday, and I just had to get a couple of these. And I might go plant them by her gravesite, I'm not sure yet. But my goodness, aren't they just ever gorgeous? And she loved them. So I needed to buy a few of them. I just had to. I just absolutely had to. I got 3 for now. And then, of course, just a bunch of seeds. Cilantro, dill, summer savory parsley, chives, cucumbers, and the other long English cucumbers, pickling cucumbers, zucchini or squash, and then green beans, carrots, beets, and then of course I did buy some flowers as well. And that is all I purchased for today. But you know what? Of course, like I said, as we're going to be starting a garden in May, We will definitely be going back and getting more seeds, possibly more plants for sure. I don't start my own pepper and tomato plants in the house. We just always go buy them because I have never had good experience starting them off in the house. And we do also go to a different town and buy vegetable plants there as well sometimes and have a lot of good luck with them. So this is it for now. So let's get to the gratitude journaling part of the video. All right, let's get started in the gratitude journaling part of the video. It is week 17. It is May 1st. Isn't that hard to believe it's May 1st already? But I'm so excited. I love May. That's when all the blooms and everything start to come alive. All the plants come alive, right? I've gathered up several items here that are plant related. Just kind of, you know, maybe I was trying to find a greenhouse. You know, me going and visiting the greenhouse. I thought that would be really cool to add that in here if I could find an image of a greenhouse. But I didn't have a lot of time to go searching. But I did find a good amount of items here to add, to make a collage here for this part of the journal, I should rather say. And so I have all kinds of different plant images here, and they're all from different magazines. This one is a printable that I purchased at some point when I worked in my garden journal. So I want to use this in here, as well as I have an image here of garden seed packets. So I thought that would be very nice to add in here as well, because I purchased some plants and garden seeds. And so I want to add that in here, but it looks like this image is too big to add onto my page. And so I might have to trim this, and that's okay. Okay, I will go ahead and just trim it somewhat, and then we'll add it in here. I'll add a little piece. We'll trim a little piece at this end off. And I am pretty sure that I do have an image of a greenhouse somewhere. I feel like I remember it, but you know how it is when you're looking for something that you want and you cannot find it. And then later on, when you're not looking for it, it just randomly appears, doesn't it? It always seems to happen that way to me anyhow. So from where you are watching from, or where you live, what time of the year do you start your garden? When is garden season for you? And if you do live here in southern Manitoba, Canada, and you're watching this video, when do you normally make your garden? Do you have like a specific weekend that you do it all the time? I'm sure the weather has a lot to do with it, of course, as well. But if weather permits, when would you normally make your garden? From my memory, if my memory holds me correctly, For myself, it's either Mother's Day weekend or the weekend after Mother's Day. It kind of varies again too, depending on the weather. Sometimes we have an earlier spring and then you can do it a little bit earlier. And sometimes we have a later spring, so it all depends. But I know it's sometime in May that I always make a garden. Here's some host plants. Image of some host plants, and I thought that would be nice to add because the greenhouse did have quite a few beautiful host plants. I would have loved to have purchased way more than I did, but I held back. I'm like, no, don't do it, Kathy. You don't need so many house plants. I think I want part of this on the middle flap here, but I do want to also leave a little bit of room for some journaling. I did find an image that says greenhouse at the top, and then it has the picture of in a greenhouse, so I will definitely use that. I need to organize my certain folders, certain containers. I need to reorganize them because like gardening season and plants and all that, I guess I don't go into those containers too often, and they are kind of disorganized, and maybe I will take the time today later on and just go on in and just organize everything in there so that I have everything in one place. I do want to make a bit of a pocket for my photo that I have that I want to insert. I'm just not quite sure yet what I will use for that. I really like this image. I have a lot of nice images that I actually wanted to add in here. But you can only add so and so much, right? This journal pages are not that big, so I can't, like, if I was to work in my big collage book, I could add all sorts, and I'd have more room to make a bigger spread. But in my gratitude journal, the pages are not that big, so I can't like add a bunch of stuff. I do really like this image. I think I will go ahead and just glue that on there, and then I'll just trim off the extras. And that way I can just glue this whole piece here. There we go. No, I did. I bought pansies today, as you saw, and also a hanging plant. I'm going to see if I can find an image of a hanging plant and add that here. I have this here from an old wrapping paper. Now I know that this is not the same type of plant that I purchased, but I think that would be pretty hard to find the exact same plant. So I think I'm going to just go ahead and use this one. Now, I know that I need to leave some room somewhere to do a little bit of journaling. Just, that I went to visit the greenhouse, and I'm very grateful that we have such nice greenhouses nearby. So I have a little bit of room for journaling at the top there, but I still need to figure out a little bit of a pocket here. Okay, I came up with a bit of a different strategy here. Instead of adding a complete full pocket, I left a pocket on the side here. I'll show you here in a minute. I'm just adding a few other touches here. Instead of adding a separate pocket here, I am just going to go ahead and stick the photo in here and use this little side here as a pocket. And then I think that completes it. I did a little bit of journaling. I just wrote May 1st, great day to go to the greenhouse and dream of gardening, and that I'm grateful for this time of year. And even though I didn't purchase nearly everything for gardening, but it was a start, right? And it was so fun just going and browsing and just looking at everything. I hope you enjoy coming along on today's video on week 17. And I hope it inspired you to start thinking about your garden and going to the greenhouse and purchasing some items for gardening. You don't have to have a large space for gardening. To be honest, I used to have a large garden in the country as well as on our other property where we lived. But because the dirt wasn't that great, I didn't get that much produce out of it, and yet spent so much money on it. And here where we live now in town, we have a smaller garden, but I get a good amount of produce, so you don't need a large space to garden. And I hope this inspired you to think about gardening as well. Even if it's gardening containers, maybe on your patio or something. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed coming along today. I really enjoyed making this video and going and dreaming of all the things I would like to plant. And I hope you all have a beautiful day and happy May 1st. That's so exciting. And we will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.